So I feel kind of shy actually. Hi! It's been so long since I filmed from this spot, so I feel kind of shy actually. Basically what I'm gonna film today is a review of my Kindle Paperwhite after using it for many months. I think it's been like 4 or 5 months now. The reason why I wanted to do this was because someone had left a comment on the Kindle unboxing video that I made, link in the description, and they just asked if I could make a video about my experience. So ask and you shall receive. So yes, let's get into it. Oh, first of all though, I'm sporting this tank in the dead of winter because I got this tattoo done yesterday, and there's a very personal reason why it's a peacock. I do have a video about it. I just grew up around wild peacocks and it's pretty awesome. Yeah, so maybe you don't have to watch the video. You just know now. But anyway, so yeah, I'm nursing this, so I can't really put anything over it. Okay, let me get the Kindle. No, wait. Trying to think of like a transition I can do. Oh, okay. Maybe I could put my hands up like this. Woo! Okay. So this is my Kindle now. I've personalized it in like a super Asian way. Just turning it on. And that's the book I'm currently reading. It's the Elon Musk biography. Quite good. I've been reading a lot of biographies lately. Like The Everything Store is about Jeff Bezos. It's really good. I kind of earned a little bit more respect for him because he's hated on a lot. Cool. No, what a fuckhead. So, one thing that I really like about the Kindle is it is super straightforward. There's a button here, just turn that on, and it opens up to the book that I'm currently reading. So it's very easy to learn. To get back to the home, you just tap the top and push the home. One thing that I have noticed though, and this would be a con, is that when I put this book in I carry around kind of like a backpack or like a, here I'll show you, this thing. And oftentimes it has a lot of stuff in it just because I like to kind of be very prepared when I'm just going around the city and stuff. It's usually quite full. So when I put my Kindle in there, because I'm walking around, something hits the power button and it'll open up to the book that I'm reading, and then like something taps, like it's moving around, so it's tapping the screen. So I'll lose my place. It'll like turn pages for me. So I have to go back and like find the page that I was on, which is really difficult. And also it drains the battery. So that's like one thing that I would give the feedback if I could to the product people and somehow make that button a little less accessible, because it's done this a lot where something bumps into it in my bag and it just turns on. One thing that I have done to try to ameliorate is I put it in this section of my bag, which is a back, but it still happens, just not as often. So it's definitely a con. But speaking of the battery, is awesome. It lasts a super long time. I've never run out of battery in any situation, as in I am kind of like a compulsive charger though, so like if it's under 50 I have to charge it, but I've never been in a situation where I felt like I wish there were more battery life. So here's my library. It's quite big right now. See, oh yeah, I think I like too is that it shows like the percentage that you've read a book if you're like a non-monogamous reader. So yeah, I'm 52% done with the Elon Musk one. My library is quite full now. I wish I could show. Oh, okay, so it's 4 of 12 pages. So 1, 2, 3, 12 times 6, whatever that is. That's the total amount. And if you wink know how to torrent a little bit, or you can actually find a lot of book documents online just for free. You don't have to torrent. It's really easy to get books. Just a little pro tip. I'm not gonna do a tutorial on it or anything. This is kind of all over the place, sorry. So one fear that I had when I was switching over to the Kindle was that reading wasn't gonna be as satisfying anymore, in the sense that when you have a physical book, it just feels good to like see your progress and like feel like the tactile sensation. And then like when you're done the book, like just like closing it for good and earmarking it. I just love the whole process of reading a physical book. Obviously it's not the same with a Kindle, but I would say that it's still satisfying. Satisfying in the sense that I think because you're turning pages with your finger, and because the text is often larger, and well, you can make the text larger, but even the standard text is quite large. I think the standard text I think is this big. I'm pretty sure I set it to standard. It's quite big. And so what happens is I'm turning pages a lot more often virtually, and you get kind of like a dopamine rush when that happens. So it's really satisfying to read because you feel like you're just reading at lightning speed. So that part is still satisfying. I also do like that they put the percentage that you've read. That's satisfying as well. It gives you a sense of how far you've gone. And also I like that once you're done with the book, there is a little check mark that happens. They do a check mark if you start reading. Okay, but like, so there's a little red symbol at the top right of Super Pumped, that book. This is also a great book. So I like that. You kind of get that badge of honor that you finished the book. So I don't know if this is actually a fear of other people. I'm just really romantic with physical books. So don't worry if you get a Kindle, it's still satisfying to read. And it's super enhanced. So my favorite part is definitely that. Other than it's lightweight, obviously, and this one's waterproof, which is cool. I have spilled water on it. Other than the fact that it's lightweight, I really like that I can look up words as I'm reading. That is so helpful. Maybe I'll give an example. Because I am the type of person that when I am reading a regular book or something, I do look up the words that I don't know, and it's really time consuming if I have a book and I have to like look it up on the computer, or most of the time I'm just kind of chilling on my couch or something, so I look it up on my phone, and that takes way longer than a computer. So that part is totally worth, in my opinion, just getting the Kindle in and of itself. There's also this cool ability that you can set up a email address for your Kindle. It's best to like read a support page to figure out how to do it. It's pretty easy, but it takes a while and you gotta test it and stuff. But you can set up a email address for your Kindle, and then you can email books to yourself and it goes straight to your Kindle. It's super cool. As long as they're in the right files, you literally just email that document to here. I have a, so you can literally just send yourself a book virtually and the book just shows up. I don't even have to sync it. I think sometimes you have to sync it in older versions, but okay. So that part is amazing. So because these are just files, my friends and I have kind of like a shared library. So we keep a Google sheet of, you know, titles, authors, and then in a Dropbox, we put all the files in. I don't want to say we because this is mostly just run by like one friend who's really cool. So basically, yeah, he does this. He puts all these files in a Dropbox, and you know, you refer to the collection list and you could just Control F the title or the author name or whatever and find that file and then download it. So that's really cool. You're kind of decentralizing reading. I mean, I don't know what it says about whether authors and stuff make enough money, and I hope they do. I hope it isn't like a Spotify thing where authors get paid cents per song. Like, I don't know. I know that's an issue, so I hope that's not an issue here. Yeah, and that's it. So actually, overall, I would highly recommend a Kindle. And this one is the paper white. And as for my eyes, yeah, I don't feel any fatigue that when I'm looking at a computer or I'm looking at an iPad, that fatigue that we all know. I don't feel that. So that's great. A lot of pros, very few cons. I will say though that sometimes, so I do have a lot of books in the house, I will just walk up to a book and just like feel it, turn pages, and just get that tactile sensation because I do miss it, but not enough to not use a Kindle. And obviously there are books that I have already that I haven't read, and I do plan to still read them, and so I'm still gonna get that experience of a book. But I guess my point is that I'm trying to think of a lot of arguments to not get a Kindle, and it's really hard for me not to. So I used to be like a sworn enemy of of electronic readers, and now I'm part of them. So yeah, cool. So highly recommend. Well, thanks for watching. See you in my next video, hopefully.